everyone, and welcome to Scrap Saturday. I hope you're all doing well. This is going to be a little bit of a long video. It's about 17 minutes long, but I really felt that I always wanted to do this. I wanted to show you, and I think I've done a smaller version of this somewhere in between my scrapbooking. So this is my process of what it looks like when I dig into a new kit. And here is the hip kit that I received, I'm going to say between the months of May and August. And so I'm continuing with this hip kit series because it has a lot of fun, bright, summery type embellishments. And I get the main kit. So this is the main kit. This is their embellishment kit and also their color kit. I'm pretty sure I do all of them, all three of them for the last 3 or 4 kits that I received from Hip Kits. Excuse me, sorry. It seems every time I start speaking I need to clear my throat, and I do apologize. So the first thing that I do is I really go through my papers. So of course this video is sped up by 2 times, so it's a little bit slower of a process than what you're seeing. And here I'm pausing just because there's something sticky on my desk. But believe it or not, these baby wipes are dried out, so I don't even know what the heck I was doing. But you know what? Raw and real. So basically what I do is I take the 12 by 12, all of them, all the paper that comes into my kit or that comes with my kit. And what I do is I look at it. I look at the paper and I let the paper speak to me, and I allow the colors on the page to tell me which way, what orientation I would like to cut my paper into. So I cut all of my pattern paper down to 8.5 by 11. And I usually just leave those remnant pieces on the side like you see. So it's about a 3.5 by 12 or a 1 inch by 6 inch, depending on which way I'm turning the paper. So it's very important to denote for a paper like this one with the cute little cars and bicycles that you want to make sure that your pattern paper, if it does have a direction that cannot be turned upside down and will be silly, that you really want to pay attention to that. For this one, I paused only because I do like to leave that unique border strip sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes, like I've mentioned before, I don't like it. For example, this paper, I really like the scalloped border, so I want to cut that out because I think I want to use it separately. And then when I'm looking at this paper, I'm flipping it so that I can keep most of that mint for myself. Right? I kind of like it better. Again, the same thing with this piece of paper. You've got the ombre effect, and I'm going to use it which way I think I like better. So I like the darker tones more. That means I'm going to cut off 3 inches from the other side. So I kind of customize my 8.5 by 11 a little bit more, and I use the paper and the patterns to my favor. Same thing with the clouds. I don't know which one spoke to me more, but I think I liked more craft colored clouds. So that's why I rotated it. Again, this is a lot of fun. It's also, you know, you get used to the paper. It starts to speak to you. You start to become inspired. It's not like you don't know what you have to work with. And for me, anyhow, I believe that I learned this from Nicole Jones. So she's Nicole911, I believe, on YouTube, and she's amazing, and I love watching her stuff. And she also gets ready for like crops like this. She always cuts down her paper. She always creates kits so that when she goes on her crops, because she goes to a lot of them, and she likes to have page kits ready to go. So I don't necessarily make page kits like Nicole. I don't. So I kind of took a little bit of what her idea was as to just cutting into your paper, because it sort of mentally prepares you to say, well, I've cut into it already, so there's no such thing as hoarding, number one. And number two, it gets you just ready. It gets you all fired up, right? So the next thing that I do, and I'm showing you this now because I haven't done this in a little while, but this is what I really honestly do. And there's so many reasons why this is so important. The next thing I do is I take out my die cuts, and these are actually new ones that I've had for a little while from Simon Says Stamp, and I believe they're exclusive. So one of them, this one that I'm cutting out, is Hey Love. And the first go about, I don't have a shim in there, and it doesn't cut through all the way. So I noticed that, and then I go back and I just add this plastic shim that I've gotten, and I don't know where I got that from. I think it came with maybe one of my spell binders, and I just kept it on to the side. I do have a little bucket that holds all of my Cuttlebug type cutting plates and stuff like that. As you can see, my cutting plates are completely well loved. So it's something that maybe I don't show you on my process videos, but I do love using my Cuttlebug because I have a lot of dies. I have tab dies, so I don't have a tab punch out, nor do I have anything else that can help me create a tab, like a tab top, like on a file folder. And so I'm just showing you, I love that scripty font for the Hey Love. But I do have a lot of Spellbinder dies that I got from a store called Winners, which is kind of like your Tuesday morning. And I just go to town. I just cut out a whole bunch of tabs because I really love stamping and putting tabs on the edges of my paper. My favorite thing is when you get to use the coordinating matching patterned paper, right? Because someone's already gone through the trouble of creating your kit, so everything's gonna match no matter what, right? Look at that hello. So precious. It's so stinking cute. I love it. And I'm sad that I hadn't used it in so long. This is what I was gonna say. We buy all these things. We buy all these die cuts. We buy all the stuff. I do anyhow. I mean, no offense to everyone out there, but I think we're in the same boat. Let's be honest, right? We buy all these things. We hoard them. We have them. Why not use them? So I think that if we dig into our kits, just like I'm doing, not saying that I'm right, but little bits and pieces, just like I took from Nicole what I felt was relevant to the way I want to scrapbook, I'd like to inspire you guys to also take out your dies. And there was a few of them. So I pull out the gold ones that you see here are the Amy Tangerine ones. I have some banner die cuts, which you've seen me in the past layouts. I use my banner ones. I have stitched circle die cuts from Simon Says Stamp, and I love them. They're awesome. They make a layout come about so easily, right? I guess in this sense, you've seen all the embellishments that come with hip kits. It's phenomenal. There's so many die cuts. There's so many things that sometimes it's overwhelming. You don't need to, but this can also be scrapbooking, right? Scrapbooking doesn't necessarily mean did you make a whole layout page. No, scrapbooking is also just crafting and using all the dies and stamps and tools that you have to create things like this that make us feel more inspired and easy to reach for well coordinating, matching little dies. Like the little cloud one, again, it's an Amy Tangerine one. I love it. It's so cute. So I don't record all of it. I kind of went for about, I'm going to say a good 45 minutes die cutting a whole bunch of stuff. At the end of the video, you will see me kind of slow down and show you all the little bits and goodies that I did. But yeah, I loved it. And I really loved that this neutral paper, this neutral is what I want to say, paper is what I used. So here, I believe that I watched somebody else's process video and they were making pinwheels. I think this is what you call them. No, they're not pinwheels, Monica. It's rosettes. Yes. And so I thought, oh, it's been so long since I've made a rosette. I don't even know if my process is right or if my process is wrong. Basically, I just score with my Martha Stewart scoreboard every ½ inch. And then I just accordion fold, which means, one way up, one way down. And then I fumble here because you need to see that this process is real. Yes, it wasn't that easy to do this. I was like, okay, come on, Mr. Rosette, people are watching. I use hot glue to glue the two edges together because you really need something secure and solid to get you that formation. And then you literally just, I don't know, you manipulate this thing as best as you can to basically behave. I don't know who I'm talking to there with my finger pointing all over the place. I'm taking my circle punch. I believe this is like a ½ inch circle punch. And I'm making a base out of some scrap white piece of paper. And then I'm going to glue the bottom of this rosette and then use that as a base to hold all of the folds in together. I think the next one I do a better job because it's like I have made them a long time ago, but I've forgotten. I do have a punch that actually punches out an edge and a rosette kind of thing. I even have a Cricut cartridge that does rosettes, I believe. But you know what? I'm going to be very honest with you. The time that it takes me to take out my Cricut, this way is just so much easier. I'm holding on to it because it takes a little while for that paper to, one, stay in place, and number two, allow for the glue to settle. I don't believe I use high temp glue. I don't. I think I use low temp glue, or my glue gun is a low temperature glue gun. It's not a very, very hot one. I mean, it's hot enough that my fingers do feel that when I'm manipulating the paper, but not to the point where I'm burning myself. I can still play around or move around my items. And so once it dries in place and it doesn't move. I'm using this neutral piece of paper just to create another rosette. So here I go again. It's every 1/2 inch. I don't know if you can go every 1/4. I don't know if that makes a difference in the folding or the accordion look. There are thousands of tutorials out on YouTube because this used to be, I always say it used to be in style, but things always come back in style. Just like I said pinwheel at the beginning, it's been a long time since I've created pinwheels as well. You could do that. As you see that other rosette that I just created, I love that the pattern paper itself, like the two-toned with the light purple and the polka dots, it just looks so pretty, right? It's just using the pattern paper exactly the way it came, and it looks so cute. So again, I'm using 2 pieces of paper here because the first rosette kind of turned out very wide. So the fanning, or the accordion folds, I should say, were not as tight as I wanted them to be. And again, you live and learn. I only had 1 piece of that paper anyhow. It looks fantastic. In the end, I embellished the circle part of that rosette, and you'll see what I do with it. So stay tuned to the end so you can see exactly how I decorated that rosette as well. This one, when I put it together, you can see that the folds are so much closer together. So again, it creates a completely different look. And you can add as many layers as you want to this. You can make it as thick or as thin as you want to. Just play with it. And again, look, if you had leftover strips of paper, like a little strip of paper, you could create a rosette, put it on a card, stamp a happy birthday in it, and there you go, right? You've used up your scraps. You've made use of, right? And I do believe I'm going to be, I'm counting. What are we at? Oh, we're going up to 15. No, it still doesn't stick. I think it's about 25 to 30 seconds that, I don't know, I'm laughing at myself. It's silly. You need about 30 seconds to allow this kind of glue that I'm using to adhere to that. But yeah, what I was saying is I'm going to use some of these rosettes on cards that I'm making. So you see the second one looks amazing, and I'm so happy. I do create a third one, but I will not be showing you. You will see it at the end. I'm now going to move into a slower motion so that you can see all of the die cuts that I created. So these ones here are the banners, and this is a stitched banner set that I got from Simon Says Stamp, and it comes with various sizes. Look at my rosette. That's the third one that I created. That's the white one with the hello on it, and that's still the other one. There's going to be more at the end. I'm going to show you exactly what I did with that purple and pink one. And then here's just a little, you know, I'm just picking up all the stuff. I used my ampersand punch to punch out a couple of ampersands. Those are the cute little clouds that I created, and I love the way that I use the edge of a two-toned patterned paper, but still within all the same colors so that if I do use them on a layout, they all match. That's a little tag that I have as well. It's a stitch tag. Those are all the tab tops. Those are Spellbinder tab tops that I love using my Felicity Jane stamps or word stamps on to stick on the edges of my photographs. So these are all the little bits and pieces that I created, and it doesn't really take that long, right? Put on your favorite, you know, background music, or put on some YouTube videos, whatever you like. The next thing that I did is a die set that I've had for a long time. I don't know if it's Maggie Holmes, but I believe it is Maggie Holmes, and I've never used it. Shame on me. But I've been seeing bows all over the place, and I thought, Monica, it's due time that you've made your own. And I created such cute little bows, and I'm so excited, and I love them. So yes, at this point with this video, I still have not made anything with this kit, and I'm going to be starting to do that starting in October. Most of my hip kit videos will have all of these items that I've made, plus the stuff that you saw at the beginning on my layouts. So be inspired. Get out all those things that you've been hoarding, your stamps, your die cuts, or if you don't have any of those things, just make rosettes or make paper bows. I think you can even, get a tutorial off the internet and just trace and cut and paste. So I hope that this was helpful. I hope that this was at least, if not anything else, inspiring for us to use what we have and make do with the things that we have so that we can cut into our paper and have fun, right? Just have fun. Look how cute the bows look. This is what I did. Isn't that so cute? I don't want to give it away now. Big hugs. Be inspired. Do what you love. Make time to do the things that you love. And I will see you guys really soon. Thank you.